Hello everyone, it's Marc Schiliro, the owner of MS Classic Cars, and I'm coming at you with yet another spectacular vehicle. Today I'm sitting behind the wheel of one of the best vehicles we've ever offered from the MS Classic Cars collection. This is a 1968 Chevrolet C10 pickup truck that has been fully customized. Under the hood, it's packing a supercharged LS3 V8 engine rated at 625 horsepower. The engine is coupled to a GM 4L60E automatic transmission, and it sits on a Roadster Shop slammed Spec Series chassis. You've got to check this out. To start off this presentation here, I'd like to say if you have or have not been following MS Classic Cars, please note I only collect #1 and #2 condition vehicles. We've been doing that since inception. I'm very proud to say that we are the only classic car dealership in the country who services everything that we sell, and we document the work with an invoice. We've been doing that again since day one. It's something that we really are proud of. Once the vehicles are done in our service department, we go through them to the highest level in the detail process, starting from the undercarriage, working our way right to the top to present these magnificent vehicles that you see here today. When you visit our website, you will notice that we have over 200 photos of every vehicle, so we can be as transparent as possible. I personally will handle all of your phone calls, emails, paperwork. I will even help set up the enclosed shipping. And once the vehicle gets loaded into the carrier, I will wrap it with a plastic car cover so it arrives at your doorstep as clean as it left here today. Please do your homework on MS Classic Cars, and again, our website, msclassiccars.com. So to start off with this presentation of this magnificent vehicle, I have put together a very detailed description. This takes a lot of time to do this. I am going to read a lot of these notes and information that you can find again on our website. I also would like to make mention that there are multiple videos of this vehicle that we are going to be presenting within our gallery. So some of those vehicles include a dyno test. This vehicle was dyno tested during the tuning process before our ownership of the vehicle, and it put down almost 550 horsepower at the rear tires. We also did a first look video with the owner who built the vehicle and his company and myself the day he personally delivered it. You got to make sure to see the first look video. Clearly, we also are going to have this video that we have here. Then we're going to have a driving video to follow. And Corey, who works for us, did a really cool video that he did, kind of a unique thing that we hadn't done in the past that we can also post in the gallery as well. So there's going to be a ton of videos, probably more than we've ever presented with a vehicle in our history. So again, make sure to check all those out. You're going to be able to find them on our YouTube channel. Now, let's get into the description of this truck. This out of the world, that's the way I opened up the paragraph here because that's what it is. 1968 Chevrolet C10 Custom Pickup Truck is true craftsmanship at the highest level, and it is a one-of-a-kind G machine. Before I get into more details, I do want to make one other comment. These videos can be long, sometimes boring. Again, the point of these videos is not for entertainment purposes. What I'm doing here today is I'm trying to go over as much information as I can so the person who's interested in purchasing it knows as much as they can and learn about the vehicles. Just want to make sure I mention that. This vehicle is equipped with a Magnuson Supercharged Chevrolet Performance LS3, which is a V8 by Chevrolet that is an amazing motor. The Magnuson Supercharger is one of our favorites. It's just a great combination. It also has a 4L60E automatic transmission, and again, it rolls on a Roadster Shop Slam Spec Series chassis. Okay, as the VIN number of this truck indicates, it was built in Tarrytown, New Jersey as a 1968 Chevrolet C10 half-ton V8 4x2 pickup truck. It was rendered by well-known artist Eric Brockmeyer. If you don't know who Eric Brockmeyer is, do your homework. He does great designs and renderings. He's been doing it for many, many years. We've had multiple vehicles over the years that he has done. Again, really cool. The vision of his rendering was brought to life by Mark Giambalvo and his team at Creative Rod and Kustom, located in Womelsdorf, Pennsylvania. Mark's shop has a magnitude of significant awards over his 20 years in business. This C10 was found by one of Mark's employees in the town locally that they live in, and it was the perfect candidate for the ultimate C10 build. The restoration started in 2017, and it was completed in 2018 for the SEMA show, where it won the Chevrolet Design Award. That is a huge accomplishment. Before I read any more, I just want to show you. You can see this within our photo gallery. This is a very well put together, rather large booklet here. And if you open it up, you will clearly see this C10 in here. Again, to get the Chevrolet design at SEMA, again, is a really huge accomplishment. That is something that obviously Mark was very proud of, and something that really made a big difference when I was looking at this vehicle to purchase it. Some of the other prestigious awards it's achieved is the Goodguys Gold Award in 2018. That's a big deal. The 2018 Goodguys Truck of the Year Top 5 Finalist. That's another big deal. That was in 2018. We have the Goodguys Detroit Speed. Everybody knows Detroit Speed. Great company. They do great builds. They gave it the Pros Pick Award in 2019. Goodguys Best Ride on a Roadster Shop Chassis. That was in 2019. Also, Detroit Autorama with Outstanding Truck. That was in 2019. And to finish it off, World of Wheels Steel City Top 5 in 2019. That's a lot of big deal awards that this vehicle has earned, deservingly so. Since completion, it's only been driven test miles. MS Classic Cars purchased it in March of 2023, and here we are today. So currently the vehicle does have 9 miles showing on the odometer. During the time they were dialing it in before it was actually hooked up, it was driven a little bit more than that, but that is really since true completion. Mark went through the vehicle prior to my purchase, went through everything, kind of dialed it in. Our plan in MS Classic Cars within the next probably week or so is going to be to get it into our service department. Again, just make sure oil is fresh, make sure the plugs are new. We'll look into, making sure everything is good to rock and roll, but it's going to be ready for the new owner to enjoy once he or she receives it. So let's talk about the exterior. The exterior of this C10 is simply breathtaking with its custom design and innovation. It truly looks like it was built at the General Motors factory in 2023. The original body was sandblasted and needed only minimal repairs. During the restoration process, a lot of custom fabrication work was done, including all of the body seams, weld marks, and holes were smoothed. The front of the roof was chopped up top here, 1 inch to match the rear, which was slightly lower from the factory. People don't know, but they were slightly lower from the factory. So what they did is they actually chopped it to make it even. So the roof actually appears much different now than it did from the factory. Lowering the roof provided an opportunity to creatively flush fit the front glass. Did an absolutely beautiful job with that. The A-pillar skins were cut off and then widened 1/2 of an inch. The pillar was laid back along with the doors to get everything to line up. Again, to do that type of fabrication work is countless hours. You got to do your homework on that. You got to design it. You got to measure it. You got to cut it. A lot of work went into that to get this really killer look. The top of the hood on this vehicle here was removed, and they basically really customized it off of a late model Chevrolet Silverado pickup truck. Add a little bit of that newer flair into it. The door mirrors, which normally would have been in this vicinity here, were removed and smoothed for a very streamlined look. The factory door handles were also smoothed, and a modern style door handle was added. To integrate the C7 Corvette handles into the doors, custom pockets were built into the doors so you could reach your hand in there like you would do on a C7 Corvette to open the doors. That was a really trick idea that they came up with. The door mechanism is matched with Silverado latches. Just like in a Corvette, reaching behind the door actuates the solenoid that pops it open. The bed has new panels that were supplied by Auto Metal Direct. The custom-made tailgate looks nothing like a stock piece. All of the pockets and divots were removed. The custom body lines were shaped into the bottom of the tailgate that rolls into the bedsides. Countless hours were spent making the body laser straight with precise gaps. The fit and finish is truly second to none. Once the rolling piece of artwork was sculpted, it was painted in PPG Calvary Blue, which looks amazing and absolutely spectacular on this truck. The center of the hood was then painted a medium gray metallic with orange pinstripe to highlight the custom recesses. So again, that whole hood was fabricated. It has those really nice pockets, if you will, that streamlined centerpiece, all painted, of course, and then they have that orange pinstripe that really complements the whole deal. I thought they absolutely killed it. The team at MS Classic Cars detailed the exterior paint to a super high level. It is ready to enter another show. All of the tinted glass was replaced brand spanking new, including the one-piece door glass, which replaced the trimmed vent glass that you would normally see here on a C10. All of that was changed. And then, of course, you have to order the glass to make it fit and so forth. The factory-style front grille, this is where it gets really interesting, was fabricated to fit 1 inch deeper into it to give it more of a streamlined look. Alumacraft, which is the name of the company, machined the custom mesh pattern within the grille itself, which is, again, really awesome. When you see the pictures and you see this video, you'll clearly see how great of a job they did. The front grille was then decorated with a brand new Chevy bow tie to keep it true to its roots. The factory headlight bezels were also painted satin gray, and they housed the modern headlights. Again, you'll see those in our videos. The custom-made steel front bumper with front lip spoiler fits beautifully and was painted satin gray to match. Again, that was trimmed, it was tucked. They did such a beautiful job making all of that work. The tailgate, again, is something very special because that tailgate originally was intended Chevrolet factory lettering and so forth, and in its place now there's a sleek aluminum strip that was machined again by Aluminum Craft, the company I mentioned earlier, where the letters truly look 3D like. The tailgate unlatches with custom pins and is held on with straps to prevent damage. Sometimes you see these beds with chains and so forth. He used straps so that way there wouldn't be any damage. The custom machined acrylic taillights are wider than the stock and they eliminate the factory trim. They're illuminated with LED bulbs. The custom-made steer rear bumper and custom exhaust tip outlets were also painted steel gray. That's one of my favorite parts of this truck. The inner bed was smoothed and the bed was raised 2 inches. To accommodate the aggressive drop, a 10-inch bump makes room for the rear axle. Factory-style tubs were also raised 4 inches and widened 4 inches to clear the rear tires. The inner bed was then painted a matte Calvary blue to make it slightly different appearance than the exterior. The inner bed was outfitted with a custom fuel filler and boat deck material for a unique look. The truck sits on custom billet specialties hydro wheels with a natural center and polished lip. The wheels are 19 by 9 in the front, and they are 20 by 12 in the rear. The front tires, which are Pirelli P0s, 265 3519s, and in the back, again, Pirelli P0 tires, they're 345 3020s in the rear. So I want you for a minute to just think about everything I just said. Think about what went into this truck, the countless hours and hours of innovation. You start talking about the top, you talk about the hood, you get into the front grille, and during our first look video with Mark, he kind of went over some of those details, the hundreds of hours it takes just to get that grille to be recessed an extra inch, everything they did with those bumpers. We talked about the door handles, we talked about the bed, we talked about that tailgate. They actually had to modify everything in the rear to make it look the way that it does. Again, it takes so much time to do this, and again, that's why Chevrolet gave this vehicle the Chevrolet Design Award at SEMA, because of all of the craftsmanship that went into this build. Now, as we make our way to the interior of this C10 is state-of-the-art in its simple but yet clean design. It looks like, again, it was built at General Motors factory in 2023. Like the exterior, the interior blends traditional and modern design cues. Eric Brockmeyer also designed the interior, which was brought to life by a well-known company, Buck's Customs, located in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. You can Google them. They do great work. So again, Creative Rods and Kustoms does a lot of works with them, with the interiors, and they really nailed it. The entire interior was custom made, including the one-piece headliner, the hand-built metal dash, that was molded after a 68 Chevrolet Camaro. Again, these are all the kind of things that just make these builds as special as what they are. The dash houses Dakota digital white face gauges with blue lights and operational glove box. The dash fascia has Toyota Tacoma knobs and Ford Explorer air vents. The metal interior panels and bucket seats were also hand-built. Once everything was completed, the interior was insulated with boom mat and upholstered in a medium gray hides leather with white stitching. This is a very high-end leather. If you Google hides, you'll see this is a super, super interior. Again, sitting in it, I feel like I'm sitting in a brand new car. Some of the custom features include the I Did It tilt steering column with billet levers. We have a billet specialties hydro wheel that again matches the hydro wheels on the outside. It's a 14-inch black anodized steering wheel with a gray wrap. We have Clayton Machine Works door handles. We have door pockets in the doors, vintage air conditioning, and Gooseby Edition pedals. Like to give a shout out to John Gooseby. He's actually building a 67 Ford Mustang for us, and it was great to see that Mark actually used some of Gooseby's pieces for this particular build here. The custom-made center console houses the Pioneer head unit, push-button start, low-car shifter, power window switches, Silverado dual cup holders, storage compartment with tuner, and removable cover for the XS battery. So that battery is located and very accessible right here. All it takes 1 second to pull the panel off. If you want to put a trickle charger on it, you want to do anything, it's right there. I thought that was a really cool idea. The entire floor was treated to black premium carpet, and it is equipped with a keyless system that's powered by a remote key fob. So on that note, this is what it looks like right here. This is just a little key fob. All you do is you put this in the area where the cup holders are. It turns on the power, and then you can go ahead and push the button to start it. I'll be demonstrating that in a few minutes. As we make our way to the engine compartment, the engine is highly detailed throughout with many custom parts. The back side of the hood was fabricated, including the installation pad. You got to check out that job he did with that installation pad. I thought it looked really trick. The hood pivots on Ring Brothers black anodized hood hinges. Once again, Mark reached out to Ring Brothers for these hinges. We use their hinges as well. They're really a top hinge. The hood is held open by a custom pop rod that was actually painted body color. We actually take the credit for doing that. Ricky Sylvia came up with the idea in the detail room, and we painted that to actually match the truck. So when you're showing it, you can use that. The firewall, inner fenders, wheel tubs, and radiator support were also fabricated. You will notice in the pictures and in the video, the firewall has a very unique design. The entire engine compartment was also painted in the matte Calvary blue, which again matches the back bed and makes it slightly than the exterior appearance, which I thought was a great idea. All the factory holes were smoothed. All the new wiring and hoses were concealed for a very organized appearance. Again, as I mentioned in the opening statement in the video, the truck is powered by a new Magnuson Supercharged GM Performance LS3 that's rated at 625 horsepower. The engine was dyno tested and runs excellent. It tested at 548 horsepower at the rear tires. We do again have a dyno video to show you that. The engine and the Clayton machined valve covers were painted orange to keep it true to its roots. Think about this for a second. Back in this generation, you know, with muscle cars in the 60s and early 70s, you know, GM had their engine blocks painted orange. So they didn't paint it the exact color orange, but still did that to keep it, again, true to its roots. These are the little things that I love. Anyway, the orange also matches the stripes around the hood. The valve covers were then decorated with billet inlets and carbon fiber pieces, which look beautiful. The engine was outfitted with a Holley oil pan, Concept 1 pulley system, and custom air take with blue filter. The engine is cooled by a custom fabricated aluminum radiator with dual electric fans. The engine breathes through ultimate headers and a Flowmaster exhaust, again, that exerts the rear bumper section, which looks awesome. The exhaust was mandrel bent with clean welds for a very neat look, and some of the exhaust was wrapped with heat tape to keep the floors cool. The engine is coupled to a new 4L60E automatic transmission that was sourced from Performance Automatic. The transmission is also equipped with a transmission cooler, and then in the power is transferred through a heavy-duty custom drive shaft to the new Strange Engineering 9-inch True Track rear end that has 373 gears. So again, this has got the ultimate user-friendly drivetrain. Now, getting into the undercarriage, last part of this presentation, the undercarriage is also highly detailed throughout with many custom parts. The undercarriage should be displayed with lights and mirrors at car shows because of its excellent attention to detail. The underside was painted in that same color, matte Calvary blue, but it was actually painted with a textured paint for durability. The body was placed on the new Roadster Shop Slammed Spec Series chassis that was painted black. It's equipped with power rack and pinion steering. The suspension system consists of front tubular, upper and lower control arms, heavy-duty sway bars, strange coilovers with Hyproco springs, and a 4 rear link setup. The braking system consists of a Wilwood master cylinder and Wilwood 4-wheel disc brakes with 6-piston orange calipers on the front and 4-piston orange calipers on the rear, and of course drilled and slotted rotors. It's equipped with an e-stop electric emergency brake, which works great, and a custom fuel tank was relocated to the rear with a custom filler. It also, if you look at our undercarriage photos, you will see that red knob. That is a power cutoff knob for when the vehicle's in storage. So that concludes this video here. I hope, again, it wasn't too boring, but very informative. It's super important that I cover all the things about these vehicles, especially something like this that so much time went into. I'm super proud of it. Before I go ahead and start it, I would ask if you have not signed up for the MS Classic Cars VIP email blast, please do so. That is the best way to follow us. We have thousands of customers that are on that. The number keeps increasing every day. We do probably 1 or 2 emails per week just to keep people informed of everything that we have going on. We would also ask that you follow us on all of our social media platforms. Again, I mentioned YouTube earlier in the video, Instagram, Facebook, etc. Very proud to say that Corey had done a video of our 67 Mustang recently on Instagram. We had over 2 million views. So you definitely want to be part of all of that. And I'll close by saying once again that MS Classic Cars, we are not a huge company. We don't have hundreds of cars on our website. We don't do consignments. I own everything that we sell. I handpick everything. I personally follow it through the entire process and then present it here today. So we are doing big things at MS Classic Cars. We appreciate you watching. We appreciate your interest. And it's time to let this baby soar. This is a cold start. I have not started this vehicle in probably 2-3 days. It's ice cold. I just wanted to show you how to do it. So first thing we do, we take the key, we put it into the cup holder here. You hear it beep. That lets us know that it's got power. I go ahead and hold the start button down. That's all there is to it. Fires right up. It runs absolutely beautiful. Make sure to check it out when I give it some revs. We appreciate you watching this video, and as always, rock and roll.